Hey, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to be talking about how to build your credit score if you are in diaspora. It doesn't matter the country that you are, either UK, US, Canada, Australia, any of these first class countries that use credit to manage finances. In today's video, that is what I'm going to be explaining, and I'm going to be talking about 10 ways that you can improve on your credit score. So when I first came to the UK, I didn't know how this credit score and credit systems operate, because back home we don't have anything like that. Everything that you own or you want to have most of the times is paid or is bought outrightly. But here is credit cards that we use, and that credit cards accrue something we call the credit point, and this credit point goes a long way to affect your life directly or indirectly, especially if you are looking to go onto the property ladder. If you're new to my channel, hello and welcome. My name is Becca. On this channel, basically I talk about nursing. I do lifestyle videos. Kindly consider subscribing to my channel for more updates. So the first thing you have to do if you want to build a credit score or build credit points is to open a bank account wherever you are. Make sure that you have your details registered with a bank, so the bank is able to track record of your financial income and expenditure. The number one thing you have to do is to spend regularly on your credit, but make sure that you pay in full and you pay on time. So when you are taking out the credit, they ask what you want to do with it, whether you want to do bulk purchasing or everyday spending or balance transfer or credit transfer. You would have to choose, but as a beginner it's good to start by taking credit card that will be used for everyday spending. So when you take out the credit card, you can use it for your normal grocery shopping, your everyday, your day-to-day, shopping, and then make sure that you pay on time and you pay in full, because what happens is that if you do not pay on time, it accrues an interest, and that also brings your credit point down. So make sure you pay on time and you pay in full. Number two, do not take too many credit cards that you know you will not use, because when you do that, it does not give a good reflection to potential lenders. So let me explain credit card to you. Credit card is just, for me, I'll call it the honesty card. It's just how much people are able to trace how honest you are. So this is just somebody giving you money like a loan and telling you that you use this money, but make sure that you give me back my money on time. I am not there to watch you. However, I will be building points based on how good you repay me my money. So if you don't pay the money on time, it means you are a dishonest person. And if you are applying for things like mortgages, or if you want to buy a new car, if you are making big purchases and they want to do a credit check on you, it's a bad reflection. Tells the potential lenders that you are not trustworthy and you cannot be trusted. So don't take a lot of credit cards that you will not use. Some people can apply for 5 credit cards, 6 credit cards that they know that they cannot be able to manage, and then what they do is that they end up spending money on every card, and then it's difficult to pay back. So try and cut down. At least be committed to 1 or 2 credit cards that you know. If one is, let's say, for your everyday spending and one is for bulk buying or bulk purchasing, that alone will be okay, so that you can be able to keep track of your credit at each point in time. The third one is not to max up. So not to max up means that do not use your credit point up to its threshold. So every credit card has a threshold. Let's say they put money on, for example, they put £1,000 on the credit card for you to use, and then with time you can increase your credit points either automatically or by you requesting for it to be increased. So what happens is that some people will use like £900 on the credit card or £950, which is the threshold. If you do that, it shows that you don't have a lot of discipline on how to spend money. So do not spend money close to the threshold. Fourth point is to monitor mistakes that you didn't make. So when you go to websites like TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, that is the website in UK, that is the website that we use to check your credit point. Okay, sometimes let's say you are using a broadband or a mobile data or anything that you paid on time. However, on your credit point, it is showing that you either missed a payment or you made a late payment, or sometimes they've recorded something that you know that you didn't do. So once in a while, check your credit point, your credit report or your credit file. Go onto your file, look out for those mistakes that you think you didn't do, and try to report them to this credit reports boards or websites, tell them this mistake is not mine, let them correct it. Because sometimes, let's say you take out an insurance, okay, you cancel the insurance, you paid on time, however they put it on that you didn't pay your insurance on time, or you cancelled a policy and you didn't pay the balance that is left, meanwhile you paid the balance. So things like this, try to focus on it, to highlight it on your credit file and try to get it corrected on time. The fifth point, which is similar to paying on time and paying in full, is to make sure you pay more than your minimum or your minimum payment. So sometimes, let's say you've taken your credit, you've used like £500, and then they tell you that instead of paying the whole £500, you can pay like £200 for now. That is your minimum payment that you can pay. Try always to target to pay more than your minimum payment. That was why I was advising earlier that make sure that you pay in full. If you are not able to pay in full, try to pay more than the minimum stipulated minimum payment, because that's going to help you to build your points. Next thing is make sure that you are registered on the electoral roll. So the electoral roll in the UK is to register to vote. If you are a responsible resident or citizen, what shows that you are responsible is that you have taking part in the decision-making process, and this is by registering to vote. In case you change your address, or you are first or you are new into the UK, make sure that you register to vote. If you change your address, go onto your new council or borough's website, register your new address. They will give you the documents to vote. There is a voting coming on in May. I don't know if by then I'd have posted this video. So if you register to vote, the day of the voting, you vote. It tells lenders that you are a person that has stability. Basically, that is what it tells people, that you are a person that has stability. So try and register to vote. The next thing is to try not to withdraw or use the ATM with your credit card. So don't use your credit card to withdraw money like the way you use a debit card to withdraw money. Always make sure that it's online purchasing or you are tapping, okay? If you withdraw money, physical cash from the machine using your credit card, it drops your credit point significantly, and it takes time to build a bad credit. So once you are building the credit, make sure that you do not do anything that is going to drop the credit down. Do not insert the credit card into an ATM machine to withdraw cash from it. That is not a good thing to do. So make sure that your purchases are online or you are tapping. Yeah. Next thing is to pay as much debt as you can. So sometimes you have something on your account that we call the arranged overdraft. Arranged overdraft means that you have put in an amount of money, you've asked your bank to put in an amount of money as a backup for you, just in case you have an emergency and you use the money in your debit account. You can use that overdraft, arranged overdraft, as a backup so that you can pay on time. What you have to do is that when you take out such amount of money like arranged overdraft, make sure that you pay on time and you do not take out like a bulk amount of loan from your overdraft or from your credit card. Even if you do, make sure that you pay and you pay on time. The next thing is that when you are asking for a credit increase, be very careful. Or when you're applying for credit cards, be very careful, because the more you are refused for credit card and the more you are refused for new credit increase, it affects your credit score. Because what happens is that before your credit score, your credit or your credit card money will be increased, or you will be approved for a credit card, they do a lot of hard checks on you. They check your addresses where you have stayed, they check your bank accounts, your transactions, your income against your expenditure, things that you've taken out like phone credits, car loans, mobile data, a lot of things. So they do all of those hard checks, and the more people check you, it tells lenders a lot about you. Like, why are people checking you constantly? Do you get? Why are people always going into your credit to check you? It means you are borrowing a lot or you are trying to borrow a lot. And if they refuse you, it's also a bad sign. It means that when they checked you, you were not deemed worthy to be given that credit. So try as much as possible to cut down on your applying for more cards or for many cards, and also try and cut down on increasing the card that you are using. You do not apply for the increase. Wait for them to give you the automatic increase. Most of them do that. When they see how well you are using the card, they will automatically increase the money for you. And then with time, you begin to, go up with your limit. But if you apply for it, if you tell them increase my money to this, and they do the hard check and they see that you are not worthy, or they don't deem you worthy for having that new credit, that is also going to affect your credit points. The last but certainly not the least is to keep your account separate. Okay, so for example, if you are staying in a flat share or in a house share where you pay the bills together, try and keep your account separate. Because if, let's say, you give your bills to your friend or to your flatmate to pay and they do not pay on time, because it is a joint something, it can go against you. So try and keep your account separate. Most of the times, this house sharing or this flat sharing, they have separate bills for everybody. I have lived in a shared house before, and that's what we were doing. We never were paying bills together. So everybody's got their own stipulated amount of money that you are paying, and you are paying from your bank account. That is what you should do, because the moment you don't have a separate account for you to be managing your bills, if the other person chooses to delay payment, it happens a lot. You give your light bill to your friend, or the council tax or something, they don't pay on time. Whatever mistake happens, because it is joint in your names, it is going to affect you in the long run. So be careful. If you are doing flat sharing or house sharing, make sure that you keep your separate accounts where you are controlling all of your bills, so that you make sure that your bills are paid on time. This is what I know about how to increase your credit points based on my personal experience. I am not a financial advisor. I am not a mortgage broker. If you are trying to build your credit score, especially for mortgaging, make sure you start on time with all of these tips that I have shown you. If there is anything that I didn't mention, for those of you who have experience and you think I didn't mention them, you can put them in the comment section so that other people can learn from us. Until we meet again in my next video, guys, it's bye. Bye-bye.